Gobble.
There you go.
I just wanted.
Very important. You are hereby unconditionally.
It's great to have everyone here. And welcome to the Willard Group here at the Intercontinental The Willards. It's an absolutely honor to welcome everyone here as we begin this beautiful American tradition, the arrival of the national Thanksgiving turkeys. My name is Gobble, hotel manager, and I've had the privilege to welcome you all. It's my 4th year already, and I'm really looking forward to this one. So each year bringing something new, and this year we're especially grateful and proud that we're the first pair to enjoy these beautiful turkeys in our newly restored guest rooms. Our special guest, Our special guest arrived yesterday with a red carpet welcome and quickly settled in. I checked in on this morning. I did a credit check as well. And I noticed that the minibar was rated, and that's totally fine. Enjoy some good room service, and overall it seems they really love the accommodation, so thank you. This year is Paris visiting us from Kentucky, North Carolina, where they were expertly raised by Mr. Travis Pittman of Nahanta Farms, and on behalf of the National Turkey Federation, which is chaired by Jay Dendrain, President and CEO of Gobble. Their stay here marks the start of the 78th anniversary of this traditional history dating back to 1947. We're very honored to provide the setting of this special moment and help launch the holiday season with joy, history, and a better charm. It's now my pleasure to introduce the President and CEO of the National Turkey Federation, Leslie Owen. Thank you.
They said thank you so much. They had wonderful accommodations last night. Again, my name is Leslie Oden. I'm the President and CEO of the National Turkey Federation. It's truly an honor each and every year for NTF to play just a small part in this annual holiday tradition that we commonly now call the Turkey Pardon. This is our 13th consecutive year here at the Willard, and we want to say thank you to Job and the whole Willard team, from the bellman to the folks working behind the desk to the kitchen staff. We have truly felt just the warmest welcome each and every year, and we thank you so very much. Again, as he mentioned, this is the 78th annual tradition for the National Turkey Federation to be a part of this historic event at the White House. And I know that these two special birds are really excited to go over to the White House tomorrow. And we thank you all for being here to celebrate not only these two turkeys, but the entire U.S. turkey industry that works tirelessly every day and is the most resilient humans I've ever met to get to represent them on this national stage. Their hard work each and every day to deliver safe, nutritious, and wholesome turkey to the everyday consumer, not only at Thanksgiving. And so thank you all for being here, being our special guests to have these two birds. And then we're going to pass it along to our chairman, Jay Jandrin, the CEO of Butterball.
Thank you, Leslie. Welcome, everyone, to the Presidential Turkey Media event. Oh, I'm sorry. The wrong page. Thank you, Leslie. Good morning, everybody. We're glad that you're here to join us in the Willard once again for this most joyful American tradition. On behalf of Butterball and the National Turkey Federation, it's truly an honor to carry on this tradition for the past 78 years through 15 presidential administrations. Every year, the presidential flock represents the very best of our industry. The hard work, the long hours, the care, and the pride that our turkey farmers bring to their flocks, not just for this, but 365 days a year. This year is no different. I want to take a moment to recognize the farm family behind this presidential flock. Travis and Amanda Pittman and their son Carter were here. From the Hunta Community Farm and New Horizon Farm in Wayne County, North Carolina, who alongside the Butterball team raised this flock with incredible dedication. Their commitment reflects the thousands of turkey growers across this country who do this every single day, caring for these birds with skill and pride in their work. These turkeys are also American Humane certified, which means that they are raised with the absolute highest standards that we can possibly have for animal care and welfare. And that's something Butterball and our entire industry takes incredibly seriously. Now, as many of you know, these presidential turkeys have a big few days ahead of them. This means they were given some extra preparation as they were raised. These birds were socialized to endure the bright lights and the cheering crowds, which they've seen a lot of already since we've been here. And of course, the day tomorrow when they get to meet the President of the United States. For me and for everyone at Butterball, this moment is a reminder of just how special this industry is. We're proud to play a part in making Thanksgiving possible for millions of American families. We're equally proud of the ways that our teams give back. From donating a million meals through Feeding America, and our partnership with Operation Barbecue Relief, to supporting the food banks in the areas in which we live and work, and particularly the food bank of Central and Eastern North Carolina and the Arkansas Food Bank. Thanksgiving is about generosity, community, and togetherness. So, before we move on to the next part, this was the time when I was going to announce the names of these two lucky turkeys for the very first time. But we are, of course, in Washington, D.C. And true to form, we had a bit of a leak in our information here. But nonetheless, I'm happy to announce to you all, please welcome them, Gobble and Wobble. And with that, it's my pleasure to introduce the farmer who raised these beautiful turkeys. And it has been a partner of Butterball for over 10 years now. Travis is an excellent farmer. I told this to the group when we had our send-off. We didn't just pick a name out of the hat to do this. We picked the very best that we've got. So Travis, thank you.
And thank you to the National Turkey Federation and Butterball as well for giving my family this incredible opportunity. My name is Travis Pittman, and along with my wife, Amanda, and our young son, Carter, we run two Butterball turkey farms, the Hunta Community Farm and New Horizon Farm in Central North Carolina. Whether we are farming our row crops, our turkeys, or the farming is truly a family effort. We are with our flocks every day and take a lot of pride in caring for these birds the right way. Raising the 2025 presidential flock has been one of the highlights of my career. Knowing these turkeys would represent not just our farm, but the entire state of North Carolina, which is the second largest turkey producing state in the country, is something that we do not take lightly. Thank you. These birds really did get excellent treatment from day one. We worked closely with the Butterball team to make sure this flock had everything they needed to stay healthy, comfortable, and calm, just as we do with our production birds. The thing that makes these birds unique is that over the last few months, we have spent a lot of time getting them used to people, lights, and different sounds so that they'll be ready for the crowds and cameras today and the rest of the week. They each have varying personalities. Some birds were natural show-offs, while the others were a little slower to come around. By the end, they were all competing for this spotlight. This is also where we realized just how special these birds were. At the start of raising them, our one-year-old son, Carter, would walk up to the baby turkeys and try to feed them corn in his hand. Everything changed as these birds became a little more acclimated to us and their eating habits become a little more aggressive. Carter would snatch his hand away as they started pecking him a little harder, and he'd say, "No, no, no." Now he likes to pass the corn to Mom and Dad only. What stands out the most is the teamwork behind this moment. From Butterball support to our family farm to the folks at NTF, everyone has played a role in raising these incredible birds and getting them here today. It means a lot in our family to be a part of a tradition that connects small towns like ours to the White House. It's an honor to stand on this national stage and get to represent North Carolina farmers and thousands of farm families across the country that work hard every day to raise high-quality turkey for Americans' Thanksgiving tables. Thank you for all being here and helping celebrate this tradition. And now it is my pleasure to welcome Dr. Robin Ganzert, the President and CEO of American Humane.
And they are gorgeous. I know they're socialized, but I love that they're just gorgeous. Which one's Waddle and which one's Gobble?
So Gobble's out front and Waddle's here in the back.
I love it. Hello, Waddle. You're coming up. Oh, now Gobble comes up. Good morning, everyone. I'm Dr. Robin Ganzert. I'm the President and CEO of American Humane Society. It's really a joy to be here for one of America's most cherished holiday traditions. As you've heard, for 78 years, the National Thanksgiving Turkey presentation has served as a moment of gratitude, a moment of unity, and a moment of celebration, connecting farms across our great country all the way to the steps of the White House. First, let me extend my heartfelt thanks to the National Turkey Federation, to Butterball, and to the Pittman family for their extraordinary leadership in raising this year's extraordinary leadership in raising this year's presidential flock. The 2025 turkeys were raised with care and dedication under the direction of NTF Chairman and Butterball CEO Jay Jandren. Jay, congratulations. And lovingly raised by Butterball contract farmer Travis Pittman and his wonderful family from my adopted home state of North Carolina. At American Humane Society, we're incredibly proud that these turkeys, like all Butterball turkeys, carry the American Humane Certified Seal. This is the nation's first, largest, and most trusted independent animal welfare certification program. Our standards are built on science. They are rooted in ethics, and they're verified through rigorous third-party audits. What does that mean in practice? It means that these animals, Waddle and Gobble and so many more, are raised with compassion, respect, proper nutrition, safe and healthy living conditions, and the highest level of humane handling. It means the care the Pittman family and Butterball provide isn't just good practice, it's independently verified excellence. And today is not simply about celebrating two very lucky turkeys. It's about sharing and celebrating a shared commitment across the turkey industry. It's a commitment to doing things the right way. Butterball and the Pittman family embody this every day as they uphold the highest animal welfare standards for millions of turkeys they raise for families across our great country. After today's ceremony, these presidential turkeys will head to North Carolina State University's Prestige Department of Poultry Science, where they will enjoy a wonderful retirement and serve as ambassadors for agricultural education. It's a perfect reflection of the values and the heart of this tradition: community, stewardship, and gratitude. American Humane Society is honored to work alongside partners like Butterball and the National Turkey Federation, who demonstrate the best of American agriculture, American resilience, American generosity, and a deep commitment to feeding families. Now, it's my great pleasure to introduce someone who will carry forward the commitment through research, education, and the next generation of agricultural leaders. Please join me in welcoming Dean Gary Fox from North Carolina State University. Go Wolfpack.
Fantastic. She got the Go Wolfpack in there. That's fantastic. I love that. Good morning. My name is Gary Fox, and I am the Dean of the College of Agriculture and Life Sciences at NC State University. And on behalf of everybody at NC State, we are so proud to welcome Gobble and Waddle to the Wolfpack. Now, that's going to sound a little bit funny, right? Almost sounds a little bit like a joke, right? Two turkeys, a fox, right? And a whole pack of wolves walk into a classroom. But don't worry, We had the wonderful opportunity in 2022 to accept the National Thanksgiving turkeys, and it turns out that turkeys feel right at home with the Wolfpack. We're just as excited and grateful for this opportunity this year. I want to thank the White House. I want to thank the National Turkey Federation, Butterball, the wonderful Willard staff, and definitely Travis Pittman and the Hunter Community Farms for entrusting us with these beautiful birds. You already heard North Carolina knows poultry. It's our number one It's our number one agricultural commodity, comprising more than 40% of the state's total farm income. And that's one of the reasons at NC State that we are so deeply committed to the families and the farms and the innovation that keep the poultry industry so strong. We are, at NC State, very proud of the fact that we are one of the nation's leading land-grant universities. We combine research, we combine education, we combine extension to support farmers, to bolster economies, and to grow our state. And, as mentioned before, we are home to some of the top poultry and animal science experts in the world. Our Prestige Department of Poultry Science is one of only 6 separate poultry science departments in the entire country. After tomorrow, Gobble and Waddle are going to strut their way to NC State University, and they are going to enjoy incomparable care from our college's world-class faculty, staff, and students. We have a first-class home ready for them where they will live out their lives in comfort, but also in fame. You see, they're going to go to a number of events. They're going to head to the state fair. They're going to head to NC State events. We might even take them to a football game. Beat UNC, please, this Friday or this Saturday. They're going to travel the state in their own biosecure mobile coupe called the Poultry Mobile, and they're going to help us educate future generations and the public about modern agriculture and the role of agriculture in our food systems. And that's incredibly important because food security is without a doubt national security. I am so proud to represent North Carolina agriculture, North Carolina farmers, and the excellence of NC State University. So from our pack to yours, thank you again. Have a happy Thanksgiving, and Gobble and Waddle, welcome to the Wolf Pack. We'll teach you how to do this. Let me welcome back to the stage National Turkey Federation President and CEO Leslie Oden.
Wonderful. Well, as we wrap up today's press conference, we just want to again say thank you to all of you that are here. Thank you to everyone that is watching. We hope that you will tune in tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern while Gobble and Waddle and Jay and Travis and our wonderful organization get to go meet the President and the First Lady. We're really excited about it, and we hope that you will tune in. As just to wrap up, these turkeys again symbolize the gratitude, the hard work, and the connection from farm and families. And as we celebrate this upcoming holiday, we hope that you'll think about those farmers like Travis and the other thousands of farmers in the turkey industry that help to not deliver just your Thanksgiving meal, but your everyday meal of turkey. And so we thank you all very much for being here. For those, we can take a few questions, and then we're going to have a photo line. So if you, all of our invited guests, please join me on my left-hand side, your right-hand side, if you'd like to take a photo with Gobble and Waddle. For the press, if you'd like to have some additional time, maybe up in their suite, please see Alex Davidson here with NTF staff, and we can make sure to get you a time that's most appropriate. Also, launching probably right now as I speak, the First Lady's office will be launching a poll between Gobble and Waddle to see which will become the national Thanksgiving turkey and which will be the alternate. But have no fear, both will obviously receive a pardon by each, so it's just only going to be the one that's going to have center stage with the President tomorrow. Thank you all again for being here. We hope you have a wonderful and happy Thanksgiving, and thanks so much. Okay. If I could have the Jandrin family, please, along with the Pittman family, and the folks from Butterball to please join me on my right-hand side.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States and First Lady Melania Trump.
Thank you very much, and I hope you like our new beautiful patio with matching stone to the White House. If this were grass today, you'd be sinking into the mud like they've done for many years, and you would be very unhappy. Please, thank you very much. This was a big day. It's a pardon day for a very important beast. On behalf of the First Lady and the entire Trump family, I want to wish all Americans a very, very happy Thanksgiving. It's a great time of the year, and our country is doing really well, economically, like we've never done before. Today, we continue a time-honored American tradition. Well, that's a well-trained turkey. See how happy he is? In a few moments, I will grant a full, absolute, and unconditional presidential pardon to two handsome Thanksgiving turkeys, and this is their lucky day. This is a lucky day for them. But before going any further, I want to make an important announcement, because you remember last year, after a thorough and very rigorous investigation by Pam Bondi and all of the people at Department of Justice, the FBI, the CIA, the White House Counsel's Office, and the Department of Everything. We have a Department of Everything. You know what that is? I think that's called the White House. Into a terrible situation caused by a man named Sleepy Joe Biden. He used an auto pen last year for the turkey's pardon. So I have the official duty to determine, and I have determined, that last year's turkey pardons are totally invalid, as are the pardons of about every other person that was pardoned, other than, where's Hunter? No, Hunter's was good. That was the one pardon, Pam, that was good, right? The rest of them are all invalid. I don't know what the hell you're going to do about that, but now we're going to take a little of the joking. That is a mess. But they're hereby null and void. The turkeys known as Peach and Blossom last year have been located, and they were on their way to be processed, in other words, to be killed. But I have stopped that journey, and I am officially pardoning them, and they will not be served for Thanksgiving dinner. We saved them in the nick of time. This one has plenty of time, but they were saved in the nick of time. We're thrilled to be joined today by Vice President J.D. Vance, Second Lady Usha Vance, their daughter Mirabelle, and along with Attorney General Pam Bondi, Secretaries Marco Rubio, Scott Bessent, Pete Hegseth, Brooke Rollins, Howard Lutnick, Linda McMahon, Scott Turner, Administrator Lee Zeldin, who's done a great job. A nuclear power plant gets approved in less than a week. Okay? I'm only kidding, but pretty close to that. And we have more. Where's Lee? Stand up, Lee. One of my great superstars. Thank you. It used to take 20 years before you got rejected when you put in an application. Now we're doing them in a matter of weeks, right? And that's why we have the biggest plants anywhere in the world. We're leading in AI. We're leading in everything. Our auto plants are pouring back into our country. Wait till you see the jobs coming with them. But many of them are under construction, but Lee's done a great job in getting those approvals. I appreciate it very much. FBI Director Kash Patel, who's been very busy doing a great job. Also, thank you, Kash. Along with members of, see, you got a following, Kash. Along with members of Congress, and in particular, I want to mention Jason Smith and David Rozier. Where are those two guys? Come on, stand up, fellas. What good people. Jason knows more about the tax code than any living human being. He knows so much, we don't even want to hear about it, right? Too complicated. So we're going to make it a simpler code. But we did, in the great big beautiful bill that was just passed, your imprints all over that, and it's amazing. The biggest tax cuts in the history of our country for middle-income people. The biggest tax cuts in the history of our country for middle-income people, and the biggest jobs bill ever passed. And nobody thought we could get that one done. I'm glad. We actually put 4 years, actually probably 8 or 10 years, but we put 4 years worth of material into one great, big, beautiful bill. So that worked out very well, and I want to thank everybody for working on it. JD, that was a great, well, you know, we were going to do it in small bills. We're going to have 18 bills and do it along the process. I'm glad, Scott, that we got it done, because dealing with these Democrats, I think that was our one shot. But we have it all in one great, big, beautiful bill. Thanks as well to the chairman of the National Turkey Federation and the CEO of Butterball. That's a big deal. Jay Jandren. Where's Jay? Thank you. Stand up, Jay. Thank you very much. Along with his wife, Leslie, and their 3 children, as well as the farmer who raised these 2 magnificent birds, Travis Pittman, and Wayne County, North Carolina. I won Wayne County by a lot. That means you had to vote for Trump, I think. I won by 92%. I like Wayne County. They're doing all right, right? And this is like a record-setting turkey that's going to be saved. The turkeys being pardoned today go by the names of Gobble and Waddle. When I first saw their pictures, I thought we should send them, well, I shouldn't say this. I was going to call them Chuck and Nancy. But then I realized I wouldn't be pardoning them. I would never pardon those 2 people. I wouldn't pardon them. I wouldn't care what Melania told me. Darling, I think it would be a nice thing to do. I won't do it, darling. These are 2 of the largest turkeys ever presented to an American president, over 50 pounds each. It's the largest we've ever had. And those are big turkeys. Are they as good as the normal-sized turkey? Better or as good? Do they tend to be a little fatty, maybe? No, he said no. He knows the turkey business. Anyway, despite their size, Secretary Kennedy has formally certified that these are the first ever Maha turkeys. I don't know if I agree with that. These are Maha. In other words, they could be fat, but they're still Maha. They've been fattened on a steady diet of grass, beef, to allow the smoothies and all of the other things that they've been eating for this occasion. This was a really big occasion. But they've eaten every fattening food that you can eat. We wanted to really make them special, and they really are. They're like record-setting. I've never seen a turkey that big before. Are they violent at all? Will they attack as I walk over? Because if they were, I'll stay right up here. But as you know, we're a tough-on-crime administration. We are tough on crime. You know, our border had 0 people coming in for the last 7 months, right? 0. I mean, even I find that hard to believe. They had millions and millions of people pour into our border from prisons, from mental institutions, gang members, drug dealers. They poured in to our country like we were stupid people. We're not stupid people anymore. But nobody's ever seen anything. The job that they've done on the Tom Homan, Kristi Noem, the whole group, the job they've done on the border is almost like a miracle. We have. And the people that make these statistics that said 0, they've said 0 for the last 7 months. It has to be like a few people got in, but they say 0. And they're radical left Democrats to do the scoring. So I can't imagine they did that for us. The truth is, we have no people coming into our country illegally. It's an amazing statistic, and I'm very proud of it. And we have the most people working in the United States today, by far, than we ever had in the history of our country. So those are all good numbers. But instead of pardons, some of my more enthusiastic staffers were already drafting the paperwork to ship Gobble and Waddle straight to the terrorist confinement center in El Salvador. And even those birds don't want to be there. You know what I mean. It was a tough. I'd like to thank the president of that country. They do a rather efficient job. It's got to be the largest prison in history. I've never seen anything like it. And a lot of people are behaving on our streets now. You know, Washington, D.C. is considered a safe zone. This was one of our most unsafe places anywhere in the United States. It is now considered a totally safe city. I won't tell you about murders. We're having murders, like a lot of murders. on a weekly basis. We haven't had a murder in 6 months. And it doesn't sound good even to say that. We haven't had a murder in 6 months. But when you were averaging 1 and even sometimes 2 a week, and you haven't had 1 in 6 months, you can walk with your family down the middle of any street, go to a restaurant, you won't get in. They're opening new restaurants all over, and it's really been a beautiful thing to see. So Washington, D.C. is now a totally safe city. And a year ago, it was a criminal mess. We removed, Pam, 1,700 people, career criminals, and people that came to this city from Venezuela and many other places. They were let out of prisons, and they came here. They were Tren de Aragua, a lot of Tren de Aragua, that's from Venezuela. And we got them all the hell out of our country, or they're in prisons now. And you can walk down any street in Washington, and you're going to be just fine. And I want to thank the National Guard. I want to thank Pete Hegseth. The job you've done here is incredible. And I hear you having the same kind of success in Memphis, Tennessee, where you had an even worse situation. And Memphis crime is down 64% in 3 weeks. And by the time you have 4 or 5 weeks, you're going to have it down almost where there won't be crime. And we could do that in Chicago, by the way, if they would let us. If the mayor was a low IQ person, but he should understand this. This is a very serious thing. You saw all the crime that took place last night, the night before. The woman with the burning, they burned the woman. To be talking about that now, they burned this beautiful woman riding in a train. A man was arrested 72 times. 72 times, think of that. And they'll let him out again. The liberal judges will let him out again. But we're ready to go. You know, we've been moving toward Chicago. We have a governor that thinks it's wonderful that only like 7 people were killed this week. But we are moving toward doing it, and we're going to, if crime gets, it's horrible what's happening in Chicago. We could make Chicago a safe city in a period of 4 weeks. In a period of 8 weeks, 9 weeks, 10 weeks, it would be totally safe. And the people of Chicago want us to go there. And if you look at the crime that's taken place in Chicago in the last 2 weeks, just take a look. It's on the front page of every newspaper. It's out of control. The mayor is incompetent, and the governor is a big fat slob. He ought to invite us in, say, please make Chicago safe. We're going to lose a great city if we don't do it quickly. Make Chicago, we'll do the same thing as we did in D.C., the same thing as we did everywhere we've gone. It's become almost instantly safe. And I want to do it in Chicago. So Governor Pritzker, if you're listening, let's get your act together. Invite us in. We're going to make your place so safe. You're not going to have these crimes that are making the newspapers and the front page of every newspaper and television story, news story. We'll make Chicago a safe place very quickly. I looked at the various cases, granting mercy, discovering that the terrible trauma that everyone's going through. And I had a little bit of a Pritzker joke. I was going to talk about Pritzker and size, but when I talk about Pritzker, I get angry because he's not letting us do the job. So I'm not going to tell my Pritzker joke. They have a very cute little joke, you know. Some speechwriter wrote some joke about his weight. But I would never want to talk about his weight. I don't talk about people being fat. I refuse to talk about the fact that he's a fat slob. I don't mention it. On a more serious note, as we gather around the dinner table, I'd like to lose a few pounds too, by the way. And I'm not going to lose it on Thanksgiving, I can tell you that. Because I'm going to have a turkey, but it's not going to be that one. I hope all Americans will have the chance to enjoy the fellowship of family and friends and renew our faith in God's providence. 1 year ago, we were a dead country 1 year ago. The King of Saudi Arabia said it to me. He said it to me actually 4 months ago when I was in Saudi Arabia, Qatar, UAE. He said, you know, 1 year ago, the United States was a dead country, and now you've got the hottest country anywhere in the world. We're the hottest country. We have $18 trillion being invested as of now. We're not even close to being 1 year. The most ever was $2 trillion for a certain country I won't name during the last administration. In 4 years, they had less than $1 trillion being invested in the country. In 9 months, we have over $18 trillion. It's a number that nobody has ever even thought possible. And that's in building plants and building so many things, investments in our country. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. But we have more people working. We have more people praying. The churches are coming back. I don't know if you've been reading that story, but religion is coming back to America. Some people say, oh, why would you mention that? To me, that's a big deal. And this Thanksgiving, we're also making incredible strides to make America affordable again. Walmart announced that the cost of their standard Thanksgiving meal is 25% lower than just 1 year ago. That's a big deal. According to the USDA, the price of Thanksgiving turkey is down 33% from its Biden-era highs. Potatoes are down 13%. Ham is down 15% compared to last Thanksgiving. So we are down to a level that we haven't seen in a long time. Egg prices are down 86% since March, and gasoline will soon be hovering around $2 a gallon. Under our leadership, we passed the largest tax cuts in history, the largest spending cuts in history, the largest regulation cuts in history, and we have fully secured our southern border. I've also ended 8 wars in 9 months, and we're working on that final war. It's not easy, but I don't know. I think we're going to get there. 25,000 soldiers, Ukraine, Russia. In the last month, 25,000 soldiers have died. So I think we're getting very close to a deal. We'll find out. I thought that one would have been gone quicker. We did 8. I thought that would have been an easier one, but I think we're making progress. In less than 1 year, we've accomplished more than most other administrations have accomplished in 8 years. And this is a very special Thanksgiving. We thank God for his many blessings and the great success that this country has seen in the short period of time. We draw strength from the love of family and friends, and we express our undying gratitude for the men and the women of the United States Armed Forces. We love them. We pray that peace and prosperity will continue to bless our land, and together we'll really just keep this great drive going to make America great again. MAGA, I think it's the greatest expression in the history of politics. Make America great again. So once again, Melania, thank you for doing such a great job and being such a great First Lady. And now let's go and give Gobble, Waddle. Waddle, by the way, is missing in action, but that's okay. We'll pretend Waddle is here. The gift that they've been waiting for. And I'll move over and I will just say very nicely, Gobble, your pardon. Come on, let's say it in front of Gobble. Thank you very much, everybody.
Just asked if they
Looks
get
like a
bigger.
rather violent bird. Are you ready? Gobble.
There you go.
I just want to. It's very important. You are hereby unconditionally pardoned. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Beautiful. That's nice. Who would want to harm this beautiful bird? That's good. That's good. Thank you very much. Fantastic job. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, everybody.
President Trump, can you share an update on the negotiations between Russia and Ukraine?
Zelensky to come visit you?
We're having good, I don't know, he would like to come, but I think we should get a deal done first. We're having good talks. We started with Russia, we're having some talks with Russia. Ukraine is doing well. I think they're pretty happy about it. They'd like to see it end. And we won't know for a little while, but we're making progress.
You said, what are the big things?
We settled 8 wars, and I thought this would be one of the easier ones because of my relationship with President Putin. But this is probably one of the more difficult ones. There's a lot of hatred.
You said there were other points of disagreement that were still left to be.
Yeah, a few.
Can you tell us what those are?
Well, it's just the standard things when people are starting to realize it's a good deal for both parties. If they got to stop the war, they're losing a lot of people, a lot of soldiers, mostly soldiers.
In that 28-point plan that was originally leaked, there were some portions of that that said that Ukraine.
Well, that was an original proposal, and then from there we went back and forth.
So when it comes to ceding land to Russia, is that still on the table, or has that changed?
Well, they're talking about going land both ways and trying to clean up a border. You know, you can't go through the middle of a house, you can't go through the middle of a highway. So they're trying to work something. It's a complicated process. Doesn't go that quickly.
What about security guarantees and Ukraine?
Well, we're working that out with Europe. Europe will be largely involved in that. We're working that out with Europe. Europe really wants to see it end if possible.
There were a lot of Republicans who felt that the first plan, the first 28-point plan, was too favorable to Russia. Have you changed
Well, that was just a map. All that was is a map. That was not a plan. It was a concept. And from there, they've taken each one of the 28 points, and then you get down to 22 points. A lot of them were solved, and actually very favorably solved. So we'll see what happens.
Do you think that Ukraine was being asked to give too much land back to Russia? I know at one point you said they shouldn't have to give any back.
It's really up. Look, the way it's going, if you look, it's just moving in one direction. So eventually, that's land that over the next couple of months might be gotten by Russia anyway. So do you want to fight and lose another 50, 60,000 people? Or do you want to do something now? In some cases, the land is going in the other direction. So they're negotiating. They're trying to get it done. You want to have a border. You can't have a border that goes through a highway or a border that goes through the middle of a town. So that doesn't work. So it's a long, complicated process. And very sad because so many people are being killed.
What's the next step?
They're going to keep talking. They're talking to Russia now. Steve Witkoff is going over, maybe with Jared. I'm not sure about Jared going, but he's involved in the process. Smart guy, and they're going to be meeting with President Putin, I believe, next week in Moscow.
Next week in Moscow?
I think so, yes.
What kinds of concessions are the Russians going to have to make?
Well, they're making concessions. Their big concession is they stop fighting and they don't take any more land. Again, it's a war that would have never happened if I was president. This was not anything that was going to happen. This happened because of stupidity. It's too bad.
Mr. President, Witkoff is going to Russia next week. Does that mean that Thanksgiving deadline doesn't stand anymore for Ukraine to agree to this?
We're going to see what happens. They set up a date, and the date is going to be sometime in the very near future.
Do you have no deadline?
No, I don't have a deadline. You know what the deadline for me is? When it's over. And I think everybody's tired of fighting at this moment. They're losing too many people.
Have you heard this audio that Bloomberg has of Witkoff coaching the Russians on how to appeal to you?
Well, I haven't heard it, no, but that's a standard thing, because he's got to sell this to Ukraine. He's got to sell Ukraine to Russia. That's what a deal maker does. You got to say, look, they want this. You've got to convince them with this. That's a very standard form of negotiation. I haven't heard it, but I heard it was standard negotiation. And I would imagine he's saying the same thing to Ukraine, because each party has to give and take.
So you're not worried that he's too pro-Russian?
No, I think, look, this war could go on for years, and Russia's got a lot more people, got a lot more soldiers, So I think if Ukraine can make a deal, it's a good thing. I think it's great for both. Frankly, I think it's great for both. But Ukraine's got it's a much smaller group of people. They've lost a lot of people. Russia's lost a lot of people. But Russia has a much bigger pool of people.
Mr. President, are you planning to unveil a health care plan anytime soon? And what
Well, we're looking at different alternatives. I mean, I like my plan the best. Don't give any money to the insurance companies. Give it to the people directly. Let them go out and buy their own health care plan. And we're looking at that. If that can work, we're looking at that. That's sort of taken off. That's what I like. Don't give the money to the insurance companies. They go out and buy their own plan. You give the money to the people. I like it the best.
Are you planning to extend those subsidies?
I'd rather not. Somebody said I want to extend them for 2 years. I don't want to extend them for 2 years. I'd rather not extend them at all. And maybe some kind of an extension may be necessary to get something else done, because the Unaffordable Care Act has been a disaster. It's a disaster. And I said it was when it first got put in. Unfortunately, we lost a couple of Republican votes, and the Democrats voted for it. It's a Democrat plan. And the premiums are going up, and it's the Democrats' fault. But, you know, they are negotiating with me. It's very interesting. They want to see something happen.
Who are you talking to on the Democrat side?
I can't tell you who, but we have a lot of Democrats want this plan to happen. They would love to see the money go to the people, and the people go out and get their own health care. And there would be nothing like it.
Are you planning to replace Cash Patel as
No, he's doing a good job.
This week,
Cash Patel? No, he's doing a great job, I think.
This week we saw those cases against James Comey and Letitia James tossed out. Do you still have faith in Lindsay Halligan?
Oh, she's great. I think she's great. They got out on a technicality, and you'll see what happens from here on. But if you look at the actual charges, I think anybody that looks at it very fairly would say, boy, are they guilty. So let's see what happens over the next week. You know, the court didn't say you couldn't bring the case, re-bring the case, or appeal the case. So they have a lot of options. They're going to call the shot. I'm not calling the shot. But Lindsay's a very talented lawyer, actually.
Mr. President, on Venezuela, sir, are you planning to talk to Nicolás Maduro?
I might talk to him. We'll see, but we're discussing that with the different staffs. We might talk about Venezuela.
Interesting enough, the U.S. this week did, of course, name him the leader of a foreign terrorist organization. So why do you want to talk to him?
Say it again.
Maduro, the U.S.
Right.
designated him the leader of this foreign terrorist organization. Why do you want to talk to him if he's the leader?
If we can save lives, if we can do things the easy way, that's fine. And if we have to do it the hard way, that's fine too.
Mr. President, do you have any reaction?
If you carry
I'm not going to tell you what the goal is. You should probably know what the goal is, but they've caused a lot of problem, and they've sent millions of people into our country. They were probably the biggest abuser with Tren de Aragua and all the others that they sent in, the drug dealers, the drug lords, the people that they sent in, the jailbird. They opened their jails and prisons and dumped them into the United States, and we're not happy about it.
Do you want to, Mr. President, does there any reaction to Mayor Bowser announcing she's not running for re-election in D.C.?
Well, I got along with her very well. I liked her. We worked together. D.C. is now a safe community. It's a great community. You people know it better than I do because you live there. But D.C. is now safe. The restaurants are booming. The place is booming. We have no crime. And we did that all in a period of 3 or 4 weeks and then made it better and better and better. And now we're setting new records. I mean, literally, it's as safe as there is anywhere in the country now. And if you go back a year, it was a very unsafe place. Before I got here, D.C. was a very unsafe, and it's our capital. We have to make it safe. We're doing really well in Memphis, Tennessee, and we're doing well in other places. The one that is really troubling is what's happening in Chicago. The crime, it's a potentially great city again, but the governor's totally lost control. That's where you had the young lady burned. It's where you had a lot of killings over the last very short period of time. Killings. The governor has totally lost control of the state, and the mayor is grossly incompetent.
How was your call with the Japanese Prime Minister?
Great, it was great. I had a great talk. I have a very good relationship with her. I also had a very good talk with President Xi of China, and I think that part of the world is doing fine.
Can you tell us about the content of your talks?
Mostly trade. I spoke to President Xi about a lot of things, but trade and buying our farm products, and he said, he agreed with me. I think he's going to very much surprise you on the upside. I think he's going to I asked him, I'd like you to buy it a little faster. I'd like you to buy more, and he's more or less agreed to do that. I think we will be pleasantly surprised by the actions of President Xi. I have a good relationship, great relationship with him. I like him, he likes me. I'm going to be going there in April. I guess you'll all be going with me, but I'm going to be going to China in April. With Japan, likewise, I just came back from Japan, and we have a great relationship. The new Prime Minister and myself, she's very smart, she's very strong, and she's going to be a great leader. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you, Mr. President.